All right, we have another daily recap. Man, just looking at this, I have to remind myself that with this kind of slow bout of setups that I'm in, what we're really dealing with here on the daily chart. I mean, this is like, I'd say like, this was still relatively clean, right? And then we got this big sell off and we got a big continuation. But then when the continuation failed, right, the past 22 days has been very directionless, right? Now we had some direction today, or like this week, but unfortunately, um, we took care of that before the New York session, right? Like I had this sell side as my drawn liquidity kind of, yeah, already like Monday. Um, Today I actually thought maybe we'll extend down to this when we were down here, get like a New York continuation of the overnight move down into here. Wishful thinking that we not just retrace back into the range. But yeah, that is basically what happened. Overnight, after we put in that relative equal yesterday and we retraced, overnight we ran higher one more time, chopped about a bit, and then in London, we broke down off this hourly gap. Pow! Right into that low, heading towards these lows. It's funny how these lows low key formed the same way these lows formed. Like, it's a bunch of wicks and like failure swings. And then like the issue with price action at the moment almost is like you look at this and you're like, okay, clearly we're still gonna go down here and take sell side, but then you look at you look at the buy side and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like a million fucking low resistance liquidity swings here, failure swing, failure swing, failure swing, failure swing, failure swing. And just like at that point, well, you take some short term low and you're looking for the opposite. Now you're looking at, oh, I'm expecting the price to rally 1,500 points. Both make sense, right? Like that's the issue at the moment. Like it's not that we don't have low resistance liquidity and everything's high resistance. It's just that everything is low resistance liquidity and we're not delivering. Basically. Yeah, but today, as I mentioned, we'd already taken out the major sell side kind of for the day going into New York. Then it looked like we were going to run London highs. Early in the session, we decided to edge the fuck out of London highs, right? So when I'm talking about London highs, I'm talking about this. Then we retrace, right? We inverse the hourly gap, and only then do we get the continuation higher, right? Like it's just all around, all around interesting price action. I think is a fair way to put it. So yeah, on the 15-minute chart, what do we have here? We have 9:30 open. We push higher. I was looking for potential continuation here at this 10 a.m. retrace to this 15-minute gap. Nothing of the sort present. Luckily for me, in a way, because price continues to break down here. 10:45, I came in kind of looking for the same idea. We had that hourly gap that we inversed in the end, right? But like at that time, we hadn't traded quite to it yet. We kind of got like a somewhat of a reversal in the 1 minute here, but it was like right before we had taken out this hourly internal, or not taken out, but reached this hourly internal, and we put in a relative equal low. And I wasn't trying to long right above the relative equal low. Also, YM was like super close to taking out these lows here. So anyway, we end up ignoring the 1 minute here. Right decision there. Price goes to the hourly gap, but that macro kind of passes there. Then the 1150 macro. There's no SMT on either side. Nothing to do. Price went higher. 1250 macro. No SMT anywhere. Nothing to do. And then the 150 macro, we actually had 2 p.m. FOMC meeting minutes. So I was kind of like, I'm probably not going to do anything. We did something somewhat interesting, but like at the same time, the reason I don't like it is basically the same reason I didn't like the earlier trade, which is that we put in a relative equal low with this hourly gap right here. Be that as it may, we ended up actually getting a setup here. Right, we had the 50-minute consecutive candle S&T at the 2 p.m. open for the FOMC meeting minutes right here. And then we got this 1-minute breaker, essentially kind of looking for a continuation up into what would be Asia highs up here. And it looks pretty clean right now, obviously. Mind the delivery, but it looks pretty clean. I actually entered this initially here, and I closed it basically slightly in profit technically, but like break even, just like 20 minutes later. Yeah, what should I say, bro? Price is just not delivering, and I was just sitting here thinking to myself, like, okay, would I really be proud of this trade if we like look at the hourly chart? Like, there's no reason. Like, yeah, we have all these highs here, right? Which obviously we'd already taken, but like, yeah, we have all these highs here, low resistance. But like with how price is delivering, right? Essentially, what we did is this is Asia to London, right? Right here, New York session is an inside session, right? For Asia to London, like Asia and London together, New York stayed inside. You know, it's always kind of low probability. Again, I just decided against it. At this point, we'd still be floating in this trade. The redeeming quality of this would be that this would be a potential break-even point up here. But at the moment, every time we kind of make a push for it, we just shot right back down into the range. So honestly, in order to minimize the gray hair on my head, this ended up being probably a good decision. Yeah, so what can I say? I can say, man, I'm a little frustrated, right? And I'm frustrated because I feel stagnant, and I feel stagnant because price action is fucking horrible, and we're lacking a lot of good setups. So like, yeah, we have some good setups, and we've got some bad setups, and like all in all, we're just kind of, I mean, like we're technically losing in the past, 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks even. But like we're just kind of stagnant. It feels like we're like price isn't doing anything good enough for me to actually start stacking this balance on these accounts on the road to 10k balance in order to get 4 max payouts across these accounts, right? In order for that first big chungus payout, pause, big chungus payout to hit. Yeah, again, yeah, I feel stagnant, but I mean, the mistake I don't want to do is take a profitable model and a profitable approach to trading that model, which I have had over the past 6 months, and throw it away because I feel like there's 2 to 3 slow weeks, right? And that's why I started this kind of looking at the daily chart and reminding myself, like, it's not the model per se, right? Like, obviously, I'm sure there are models that are delivering every day in this price action. It's just, we're chopping, man. Yeah, like it's expected for shit to be kind of choppy, basically. And I mean, we've gone through worse in March, to be honest. I mean, look at that. February through March was fucking ugly too. So yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see where price ends up going out of this consolidation. We're like essentially, I'm sure there's a weekly candle here somewhere. Actually, there's not. Okay, it's made up of 2 weekly candles here. But like, if we're thinking about a range that we'd want to break at some point, this is it. So as long as we're in here, it's kind of meh. And the thing about this range is we could be in here quite a while because it's about 2,500 points. So it's quite the big range. But even when being range bound, intraday can still be very clean. It just has to set up the right way. Today it didn't, and I also didn't deliver the right way. I mean, honestly, the setup today was pretty nice. Like, we had low resistance lows down here, and like Asia and London were really low resistance. So like anything from a continuation into here and then a reversal higher to like a big retracement into Asia or London and then a continuation lower to those lows, like those high time frame profiles for today would have been very clean. We just don't deliver them. So trading is lagging again, which I'm going to take as my sign to sign off here. That's the recap, and yeah.